Thank you for tuning in to Music Marvels with Achickwitbeatz and Breezy Gipson. I am music producer Achickwitbeatz.
And entrepreneur Breezy Gipson right here.
And we appreciate you joining us. We got another dope show lined up for you with so much industry news. It's just been a lot going on. We sifted through it and got some of the best stuff for you to help you out with your career. And, it's always a pleasure to do this every week. Share knowledge and information. And, so many ideas and stuff can be birthed from it. So, yeah, I really enjoy this time.
Oh, yeah. It's like revelation time. So, whether it's revelation in the business, revelation in the life, and revelation in the combination of the two. So, I love it.
Yeah.
You gotta love it.
Yes, and of course, we send a super huge shout out to our home stations, Grander Radio out of Grand Rapids, Michigan, and Sparks Radio out of Denver, Colorado. So wherever you're listening to us today, make sure that you show them some love. And I'm kind of ready to just go ahead and get it started. How about you?
Oh, yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's go.
Achickwitbeatz and Breezy Gipson on the Music Marvels Radio Show.
back with music industry news. If you hadn't heard, Snoop Dogg brought the Death Row catalog back to streaming services, and TikTok got it exclusively for the first week. So the new partnership kind of marks the label's first official online release since its removal from streaming services last year. And so now it's the first ever catalog to reissue and release exclusively through TikTok's Sound On. So, that could mean that we're going to see some more deals like this going forward. And, basically with him doing that, he's kind of solidifying TikTok's place in the music industry and the fact that they're disrupting the machine in such a magnificent way. What do you think?
Well, somebody comes in from the outside like that with creativity, cultivate, create, cultivate. And that's what they did, put their product together. And I mean, it has just been a slam dunk, 10 slam dunks, the way it's caught on, and giving people exposure, the way people have metamorphosed into using it in different ways, and so on and so forth. And I mean, it's not just your average every other day social media where people are just on there dancing and whatever, because a lot of business is being cultivated on TikTok. So, hey, my hat's off to it.
Yes. Harry and Hypnosis Song Management invest in Beat Club. It's a music marketplace that was co-founded by Timbaland, and it grants producers and artists access to sample from its catalog. So under the new agreement, Beat Club's roster of producers and artists will also be able to sample songs within the Hypnosis catalog, which is a huge deal because, we talk about Hypnosis, it feels like almost every week with their acquisitions. And so we know that their catalog spans a lot. It's pretty vast. And so that's a huge deal. And Beat Club in exchange will help Hypnosis secure some additional sync opportunities for placement in film, TV, advertising, gaming, and just all types of stuff. So, it's kind of interesting seeing these connections being made and the power that can kind of come from it. And so, we'll definitely be keeping an eye on that and keeping you posted as we get more information about it. But yeah, definitely something to check out for any producers. Well,
for the indie woman artists out there on the street, music artists, and for the indie male music artists out there on the street, get your mind right. Okay, don't feel like it's just all about writing lyrics and standing on the stage with a microphone. When I say get your mind right, expand your mind, expand your vision, and make the most of these thoughts and ideas that you have. So after you're on stage, you got something to fall back on, or even while you're on stage, you have something else to fall back on that's tied to the industry, that's tied to potential income for yourselves. And it's a wide spectrum. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Very well said.
Wide spectrum.
All right, it looks like they're kind of backpedaling a little bit, but layoffs are hitting Motown Records amid the whole Capitol reintegration thing that's going on. So certain positions were created once Motown became a standalone label, but now they're considered as duplicative. So yeah, they're just kind of shutting down some stuff, and now it's going to be reabsorbed into Capitol Music Group, which is kind of unfortunate. But after their CEO left, then, they said, what, we're just going to absorb it into everything else. But hey, as long as they're still bringing the music, that's really what matters. Wouldn't you say?
I would totally agree, and there's going to be some wins, some losses, there's going to be some ups and downs, and you got to regroup sometimes, roll with the flow, or forge ahead in different manners. And so that's the deck of cards that they seem like they've been dealt. So, hey, deal with that deck of cards and do what you can with it to stay positive and keep doing what you can do to be remain being a trailblazer.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, MasterCard is celebrating entrepreneurship in hip hop with MCs Salt and Pepper, Rhapsody, and Baby Tate. And so they basically shared their insights about some of the challenges that Black women in the music industry face, like body image and colorism, which, male peers don't necessarily have to struggle with in the same manner. So Baby Tate is quoted as saying, it's crazy that as women, we have to be under such a microscope. Like, we can't just exist as we are. Why can't I just say what I want to say? I have a message that I want to spread, end quote. And, that's a really, really powerful message. It's available to view through Hollywood Reporter if that's something that you want to check out. But, it's always great when awareness is kind of shed on what women in hip hop deal with. And, we're getting really, really close to Women's History Month. And so, this is kind of a great segue into that. But, it's always good when people share these, just because there are so many people that aren't aware of some of the subtle nuances that we have to deal with. And some of them aren't so subtle, it's just more in your face. But hey, these women have worked through it and overcome and been able to have different entrepreneurship opportunities in addition to their music careers. So, kudos to them. And, once again, just appreciate them for spreading awareness.
Yeah. I mean, the sea is so vast on the can that you're opening right now with that topic. Okay, and there's a lot of positivity, there's a lot of opportunity, and there's still doors that need to be busted down. Okay, but it seems like some positive traction is being made. So step by step.
Yeah.
Step by step. So shouts to the women who have the intestinal fortitude, the drive, the desire to make some of these things happen, and not only open doors, but kick them open to share their talents and creativity.
Yes, for sure.
And money making capabilities.
Yes, yes, absolutely.
Yeah, it's more than about just creativity. Hey, we're talking about dollars and cents. Yeah. So.
Yep.
Hey.
All right. The STX Entertainment.
And let me one last statement to rephrase that. I say dollars and cents. Oh, I'm not trying to minimize anything. So I'm talking about the tens of thousands and the tens of millions. Okay, so let me restructure by that statement. Okay.
Yeah, got you. All right, STX Entertainment Music Library has been acquired by Multimedia Music. So this was an 8-figure deal that went down for the music publishing and master rights of the entire STX Entertainment film music library. So this includes music from leading composers like Hans Zimmer, Cliff Martinez. I mean, the list just goes on. And it's a really big deal that they've done it. But this isn't just the only deal that they've done. Since they launched 14 months ago, Multimedia Music has spent more than $120 million on acquisitions. So, I mean, yeah, they are just buying up everything. So it kind of shows you when people start throwing these kind of dollars around, you got to see where they're putting it. And so that's where they're literally placing their bets. So they're trying to get this film music library going. And now that they've capitalized on all this, they are heavily armed with some talent. And so yeah, it'll be kind of interesting to watch what they do with it. But once again, that's Multimedia Music. So make sure you keep an eye on them.
Shoot, man, let me look at my desk drawer and pull that kazoo out of that drawer. See if I can refresh that kazoo and get in the studio and make some songs with this kazoo. And set myself up where somebody wants to buy my catalog, my kazoo catalog. So,
hey, you never know. There's a market out there for everything.
And that's right. If somebody can do it with a kalimba, somebody else should be able to do it with a kazoo. So let's go.
Right. All right. Rap Trap Hip Hop on Trial is a new Hulu documentary that's streaming. It started streaming this past Thursday on the 23rd. And so the documentary explores the historical perceptions of hip hop and the disturbing trend of criminalizing Black art that goes back for decades. So it features interviews with will.i.am, Fat Joe, Killer Mike, and some other hip hop stars, basically reflecting on the importance of protecting and standing up for artists' right to express themselves. So, of course, this was kind of prompted by the whole thing that's been happening with Young Thug, but this wasn't the first instance that this has been used, where people use the lyrics to say, hey, this is a confession right here. And, sometimes people do snitch on themselves. Other times it's hyperbole. And so, with this practice going on the way that it is, you don't want to start getting arrested or involved in stuff because some hyperbole you use was taken literally and used as a confession of wrongdoing. So if you haven't checked it out yet, it's probably definitely something to keep an eye on. So once again, that's Rap Trap, Hip Hop on Trial, streaming on Hulu.
Yeah, well, hey, there's ways you want to bring the spotlight towards yourself, but then there's other ways where you don't.
Right.
So that's a risk you got to take. So for the thrill seekers, the door's wide open. But for the people who are more concerned about their image, they're not opening that door. So
yeah,
we'll see.
Yes, exactly. All right, we're going to take a quick pause for the cause, and then we'll be back with more music industry news right after this.
All right.
to Achickwitbeatz and Breezy Gipson on the Music Marvels radio show. Hey fam, this is Breezy Gipson from the Breeze team. How would you like to see an online platform that brings you people who've already indicated that they're interested in your particular type of business? Whether it's your music you're selling, hip-hop clothing, you got a restaurant or a cafe, or if you're an entrepreneur or agent for a business. Visit me at breeze2cheese.com. That's using the number 2, breeze2cheese.com, or click my bio link on my Instagram profile to see a live demo of how this can help you get more customers and make more money.
Hey, this is Achickwitbeatz. I am a multi-genre music producer and strategist to indie artists and labels. Visit my website, achickwitbeatz.com, for resources for artists and instrumentals available in various genres for songs, vlogs, blogs, podcasts, themes, TV, film, commercials, and more. Once again, that's achickwitbeatz.com, ACHICKWITBEATZ. Let's make something happen.
All right, we're back with more music industry news. She better have my crypto. Rihanna's streaming royalties are offered to limited NFT holders. So earlier this month, the Web3 startup called Another Block released a collection of 300 NFTs that grants the holders, all right, let me make sure that I'm reading this off correctly, 0.0033% of streaming royalties for her classic You Know What, Better Have My Money before taxes. So, yeah, this is before the taxes, before blockchain, gas fees, and other expenses. The NFT owners have to use their crypto wallets in order to claim their share of royalties, and they're paid out on in cryptocurrency once those shares are available every 6 months. So, hey, you know, if that's something that you're interested in, you might be able to kind of ease in on that and be one of those NFT holders to be able to collect money every time that song is played. And you remember, we heard it at the Super Bowl. So people who already hold those have some money coming to their pockets. That's definitely for sure. Especially after she saw a big jump in her streaming after the performance. Yeah, those people are they're in a pretty position to collect a pretty penny. How about that?
Yeah. And you know, I still have that vision in my brain, in my mind, of all of those platforms being suspended from the roof. I mean, that I can't get that. You know, I mean, it was almost like they took some lasers and measured those to make sure they were all at the proper height and so on and so forth. I don't know how they did that. First, I thought it was some Hollywood stuff. And then when I realized that wasn't Hollywood stuff, that was actually happening, oh man, it took a lot to pull that off.
Yeah, I mean, hey, that's way above my expertise. Like, yeah, I have no idea how they did all that, and it was very aesthetically pleasing. But yeah, it was really impactful because just the other day I was at the gas station, and the person at the pump on the opposite side was pulling off, blasting one of her old songs that she had performed at the Super Bowl. So it's like, you know, exactly the timing of that wasn't a coincidence. And so, yeah, like I said, these people are in a really good position to collect a lot of money coming up here pretty soon.
Yeah, well, that phrase, and there's a hashtag, cultivate, create, cultivate, you know, so dig down within yourselves deeply, see what you can create or see what you can cultivate to turn into a creation. Yeah, because all of us have some of it within ourselves. So for those that want to dig down and find it and bring it out, hey, the opportunity's there.
Yeah, it is. Hey, the life and legacy of the one and only jazz great Wes Montgomery explored in a new documentary that's going to premiere in February. It's called Westbound. And Westbound, the Genius of Wes Montgomery. And it just premiered on the 26th and examines why, or It will premiere on the 26th and examines why he was the greatest jazz artist of all time, according to a lot of people. And so the documentary pulls from hours of interviews with his family, historians, and experts on the scene. And of course, with history, there's always so much to be gained from kind of looking back at other greats and seeing how they got to where they were. So definitely something to check out when you're able to.
Well, as an elementary age kid, my dad's love for Wes Montgomery's guitar playing, that's what got me into the guitar. Just point blank. And there's so many people, so many artists all over the place who try to emulate his music, and George Benson's, just all kinds of rock guitarists and so on and so forth, and they started out that same way. There's just a certain touch to the Wes Montgomery type and style. Hard to duplicate, but just an inspiration for many in all types of music.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
All right, and Tyler Johnson, a collaborator of Harry Styles, has sold his portion of his catalog to Influence Media Partners. So it doesn't include Harry Styles music, but just kind of gives you the caliber of what they're looking for. So Influence Media has acquired the publisher shares of his best-known titles spanning from 2012 to 2020, including Watermelon Sugar, Adore You, and many more. So the company says that the collaboration is part of its investment strategy built on modern evergreens. So those are songs and artists with a strong potential for long-term impact on pop culture. So, we've talked about this multiple times, about the evergreen music, something that's tried and true. It's going to stick around. And so now they're looking for modern evergreens. So it means that they're newer, but still kind of have that impact. And so, you can't really make an impact just chasing trends, if you will. Man, that was a tongue twister. But, it just kind of goes to show you, if you're actually true to your artistry and doing stuff that will resonate with people for beyond just a moment. So, take your time with your art, do what it is that you want to do instead of trying to imitate someone else. And next thing you know, you could be closing some deals like this too. Absolutely.
Thought of the day, hashtag of the day, cultivate, create, cultivate. And we all have some of it within us. So yeah, kudos for that last story.
Mm-hmm. All right, SoundCloud has teamed up with the UK-based dance-focused label WUGD, which is something that they focus on emerging electronic music artists on the platform internationally. And so now this deal comes just a year after SoundCloud has signed an artist signing joint venture with Solid Foundation and the management and creative services arm of Quality Control. So if we're looking at what SoundCloud is doing, they're basically doing what the whole platform was known for, looking to see who's making the most noise and then kind of elevating it from that point. So yeah, they're kind of watching the movers and shakers and making deals any chance they can get, which hopefully can kind of bring back a more positive light to the platform, because most people have seen that it's kind of declined throughout the years, but hey, they're doing what they can to fight and stay in the game, and so hey, we'll see how that goes for them, right?
We'll see. Absolutely.
Yeah. And 2 leaders of Cedar Rapids Tourism Board have been sentenced to prison over a failed Iowa music festival. So former CEO Aaron McRate and former CFO Douglas Hargrave admitted to misrepresenting revenue projections to get loans for Nubo Evolve. So the 3-day 2018 music festival included performances by Maroon 5 and Kelly Clarkson. Go Cedar Rapids apparently didn't have the money to pay Kelly Clarkson or to buy alcohol for the concert venue or repay a $1.5 million loan from Bankers Trust or the $800,000 promised to vendors. And so eventually they went out of business. and now they're getting nabbed for it. So Aaron McCrate will serve 18 months, and Douglas Hargrave will serve 15 months, and together they have to pay more than $1.4 million in restitution. So, word to the wise, you can learn some stuff from the stories. Don't lie about the projections, because if they're not right, then you're not going to be able to pay it back. There's a lot of lessons that can be learned from some of these music festivals that aren't done right. We're seeing new ones pop up all the time, but yeah, when you watch when some of this stuff goes on, it's a lot more than just putting together a lineup and throwing a big party someplace. Like, there's a lot of nuances that go along with it, and make sure that your team is prepared to deal with it, so that way you're not getting into trouble like so many of these stories that we've been sharing over the last maybe 6 months or so. So yeah, every lesson doesn't have to be learned the hard way. You can watch from other people to know what not to do.
When you fix your mouth to misrepresent, that's it right there. As soon as you fix your mouth to do something or type something or whatever, and that's misrepresenting something, and you can't back it up.
Yeah.
This is the 2019s, the 2020s, the 2021s, the 2022s, and 23s. I mean, there's information seekers everywhere.
Yeah.
So whatever you come out with, somebody's going to try to either verify or debunk that story or statement.
Mm-hmm.
So you might as well know that. So when you misrepresent intentionally, I'm sorry.
Right. All right, another catalog deal was just made, but BMG has struck a catalog deal for George Harrison's solo work. So the deal covers 12 of his studio albums, including his debut Wonderwall music, which was the soundtrack to the film Wonderwall, the 7 times platinum certified triple album, All Things Must Pass. It also includes Living in the Material World and the platinum certified Cloud 9. And yeah, I mean, the list just goes on. So many accolades for so many different albums, and now BMG has that catalog deal. So we'll see what comes forth from that. These deals are being made all the time. And a few months ago, there was an article that was asking if things were going to slow down, maybe for certain companies, but yeah, we've been sharing these stories consistently, so people are still investing in the music, and as long as there's money out there to be had by it, then that's good news for any independent artists out there as well.
Okay, roll with it.
Yeah. All right, and that does it for this week's edition of Music Marvels with Achickwitbeatz and Breezy Gipson. We thank you so much for joining us and hanging out. It's been a great time as always. A super huge thank you to our home stations, Grander Radio out of Grand Rapids, Michigan, and Sparks Radio out of Denver, Colorado. And I just had a blast. How about you?
Yeah. I mean, being in the mix to stir up some of these and educate the masses with some of these news stories that are happening all over the place. I mean, that can be a source of inspiration, and that can also be a source of sombering moments. And that Latin phrase, caveat emptor, let the buyer beware. Okay, meaning when you get ready to do something in business or life, inspect what you expect ahead of time, to help prevent some sorrowful times or losses of money.
Yeah.
And so we just try to bring these stories out to educate and keep people aware of different successes, and also to keep people aware of the he's, the she's that tried to do it the wrong way, and then they ended up going down.
Right. Well, till next time, you know where to find us. Tune in, tell a friend, and we'll see you then. Peace.